question?
Yes.
A couple of questions.
Sure.
So do you know how actually this phosphorylation of tau protein takes place in presence of, anesthetic agents?
You mean where?
How the phosphorylation takes place on tau protein?
Sure. In the 2014, we have a study, and it's already published. So far, tau protein are delivered by the GSK3 beta. We found that alpha-fluorine and sevoflurane can activate GSK3 beta kinase to cause such changes. You know, GSK3 beta has a delta 9, has a fragility. That's like a brick size to cover that. When giving sevoflurane, we found that the have decrease of this particular delta 9, this position phosphorylations, meaning that you giving sevoflurane, the phosphorylation from the GSK3 beta is gone. When that is gone, they open the 86 site for phosphorylations to activating tau protein, leading to tau protein phosphorylation. Now, that's good questions because we only targeting tau protein generation. Maybe also anesthesia can targeting tau protein degradation. We have not done that part yet. So PPT2, PPT1 can also be targeted. But so far, kinase is a target for us.
Right. And then, it's quite established that once tau protein gets phosphorylated, it dissociates from microtubule.
Correct.
And then it can traffic actually. Like the same way, alpha-synuclein. Phosphorylated alpha-synuclein can travel from cell to cell.
Yes. Yeah, Parkinson's disease things.
So I'm not too surprised that tau protein does that also.
Yes, yeah. Well, so we found that in endosome. So endosome is a very small thing before the EV yet. Inside that, we also can see tau protein changes. Yes.
Fascinating data.
Thank you.
I need some clarity here.
Yeah.
For the reason that there is too much emphasis that's given on the phosphorylated form of tau. So what is the time kinetics between, obviously when you talk about phosphorylation, there's also dephosphorylation step.
Yeah.
There's a protein phosphatase that you need to take into consideration. Are you blocking a protein phosphatase in order for you to leave this protein in the phosphorylated
Very
state?
good question. Very good question. The answer is that we don't know. Let me give you examples. We're giving these young mice the sevoflurane. We're giving them 2 hours per day, doesn't work. We didn't see tau protein phosphorylation. We're giving them on day 6, doesn't work. We're giving them day 6, day 7, day 8. Only after day 8, we see tau protein changes. It's coming something like priming effect. We need some accumulation of sevoflurane to causing that. Therefore, I think that we need a multiple exposure for sevoflurane to triggering that.
So where I'm going is that there is a lot of evidence in the literature that protein phosphatase 2A is one enzyme that dephosphorylates tau.
That's right.
In diabetes field at least.
Yeah.
So is it possible that, because I'm still not very clear, how long would it take for this protein to get translocated from one cell to the other?
Sure.
Phosphorylation being such a short-term regulatory mechanism,
Mm-hmm.
milliseconds or seconds at the most. But for this protein to go from one cell to the other, it does take some time. Do you know the time kinetics?
Mm-hmm. Very good questions. I think that when we have enough tau phosphate inside cells, they can happen. When they have enough tau, it can happen very quickly. Mm-hmm. The accumulation time all depends on how many tau can be phosphorylated. If only 50% increase, maybe it doesn't matter. It's not going out. We have a triggering point to be able to fly from neuron to outside neurons. That part we don't know. That's when we need 3 times. The reason we do 3 times is that very clinical question. Because in children's, they found before 4 years old, having 3 or more anesthesia will have non-nematodes disabilities before year 12. So say, hey, that's happened. That's giving single exposure and multiple exposure of sevoflurane to young mice, see what happens. Only doing this, we found giving 3 times sevoflurane, we can see tau protein phosphorylation. 1 time, 2 times, doesn't matter. So we don't know it's a priming effect or what, but look like they need certain time for tau to be accumulated inside neuron to be able to debonding from microtubular to be able to come out. But as soon as they have enough level, they come up quickly.
Okay, one last question. Is
Sure.
it possible that instead of taking phosphorylation as the trigger, structural changes in the tau protein that could dictate exit of this protein from one cell and entry into the other,
Yeah.
rather than phosphorylation per se?
You mean that's very good question. Actually, we found giving same drug, sevoflurane, we found tau protein isolation as well. It also happens, but we don't know the function changes. We're using the EP study to see if you try to inhibit the tau proliferation, the cell become more healthy. But interestingly, if you try to inhibit tau oscillations, cell no change.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sure.
Can I ask one more question? Maybe somebody else from the back, there's a question.
Thank you.
My question is tau trafficking require extracellular vesicles.
Yes.
So do you think isoflurane also stimulates extracellular vesicle release? My question is whether isoflurane induced tau trafficking require additional stimulators for this process.
That's a very good question. So we only found giving sevoflurane. It's not isoflurane. It's a sevoflurane. It's a second drug, yellow drug. Sevoflurane is able to increase the marker for this EV, in vitro in vivo. So the numbers increase. So the flight, the delta flight from Boston to Detroit increase. But can sevoflurane try to promote the release of tau from EV to microglia? We still don't know that yet. How can tau entering the EV, or from EV to microglia? That's a very good question, Paul. We have been asked the question many times. We don't know that yet. We do know that come out from neuron will need tau protein phosphorylation. But how about release from EV to microglia? Do they need some tau protein dephosphorylations? That's a good question. We don't know. Sure. Hey, correct students. Yeah.
Questions.
Sure.
So clinically, do you think that for a non-risk person, a person who's not at risk earlier
Yeah.
for EB, and he's given multiple surgeries, he's given multiple anesthesia, do you think that he reverse him to the high-risk group?
Very good question. Very good question.
First
So,
question.
yeah.
I have one more follow-up,
Sure.
if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
And then if at all the person is a high-risk patient, if at all the person has a risk for AD, and then he undergoes surgeries and he gets anesthesia,
Sure.
what is the duration and what is the dose for him to have a full-blown onset of AD?
Good questions. So when we first published this paper regarding anesthesia causing AD neuropathogens, people hate us. They said, what are you talking about? You guys causing the brain damage? How can you do that? The answer is that no, we do not. Your brain must already have some fragile vulnerability there. Plus this triggering effect, surgery, anesthesia, pain, sleep things. The combination multi-factor model will make that work. Therefore, if you are very healthy, young, you have no problem after surgery, you'll be fine. I'll give you numbers. So for 1 week after surgery, maybe only 26% of people having this neuromemory impairment. Think about that. If you have a surgery, 100% have surgeries, they all have fever, pain, the white cell count increase. But not everybody has neuromemory impairment. Why? Their brain has already baseline changes. If you already have early AD, you're getting very bad consequence from the surgery. They can be quick onset and last for a very long time, last for 3 years. We have a study we have not published yet. It's also done in Shanghai, China. We have a patient after 5 years, 13 patients become Alzheimer's disease. So it could be big. Yes.
One last question. Okay.
There are 3 anesthesia providers in this room. I just want you to know.
Really, who?
But I have.
There you go.
I have a clinical question,
Yes.
though, because I know that I've been in anesthesia for quite some time, and Alzheimer's has not been in the forefront of our education. Certainly heard dementia or confusion.
Sure.
And I guess I'm wondering, when did this occur that the focus was on separating the 2 conditions, dementia and Alzheimer's? Because it seems to me that this is a major issue that we are not prepared for at this time.
That's very good comments, actually. So in 2016, the American Society of Anesthesia has a brain health initiative. They try to emphasize that we should be careful regarding anesthesia surgery can damage the brain. So we had a meeting last June in Washington, D.C., joined by the NIH, by the VA, by the government. We have this, we call initial plan to do more funding, more research. We do have the questions. Is that also only for AD or for other dementia, like vascular dementia? So far, almost all studies focus on AD neuropathogenesis, not for vascular dementia yet. Therefore, if we're counting for that, we may have more pictures here. That's good comments.